All right, guys, so here are a few mistakes, financial mistakes particularly, that I made in real estate as a landlord. All right, mistake number one, overly spending. So a lot of landlords do this. I mean, it can come in a way of, okay, so for me, I kind of started off overly spending by even giving tenants welcome gifts. Now, if you guys ever moved into, a place, an apartment, that's very popular. It's actually very popular in real estate when you buy a home. And if you guys don't know, I do come from being a real estate agent. So maybe that's where I got the mentality from. But as a landlord and as a micro landlord like I was, that can add up. So yeah, like I was buying every tenant, just little welcome gifts, little welcome baskets. And when I look back, it's just like, man, that was a waste. Now, if you're doing more short term, I can understand this, but as a micro landlord, it's not necessary. It does make a great first impression. Be those small gestures, whereas that people do come back. But I'm telling you, starting out, you want to make as many profits as possible. Yes, you want to make good impressions, but don't overly spend. If you're going to do basket, do it more in a smaller level versus what I did. Also, another way where, a lot of landlords overspend, they overly, buy appliances. I feel like this is something that a lot of landlords do. They like switch out the appliances after the tenants when you can probably get those fixed. If there's little things broken, that's why they have these appliance shops. If you, look at some of your bigger landlords in apartment buildings, when appliances break down, they come and bring people to service it. They're not getting all new appliances. And I understand, when there's a move out and somebody else move in, you want to give them brand new things. Okay, that's up to you. But I'm just saying, like, this can be a waste of money. So that's something, if you're trying to cut costs, if you're just starting out, if you are a micro landlord at the time, that's just something you can think about. And that's something I've thought about. And honestly, it was a waste. I wish I didn't waste that money. It could have been poured back into the business and invested in something else. Okay, another one is spending too much money on fees and bookkeepings and these apps. And like, I was paying so much. So during the time Cash App was really popular with payment, at least in my business it was, because it was convenient. That's what everybody had. That's what they utilized. It was easy for them to pay me through Cash App. So I went ahead and got a merchant account on Cash App. Now, if you don't know, with the merchant account, Cash App is taking your money right, on the front end. For those who have personal Cash App accounts, that Cash App will take fees if you like cash out early, or like instant cash out, or what else do they take fees? I don't know. I think they take fees for other things. I think like at the ATM. But when you have like a merchant business or business account, they are taking fees every time money hit your Cash App. So they take theirs off the top. Yes, and that was so expensive. Like, when I think back, and it's high too. It's really high. I didn't really go back in there and research how much the fees are. But it's high as crap. And I just think back at that like, man. And even when it comes down to like bookkeeping, there are so many bookkeeping apps that you can do for free. I mean, you can use a dang on spreadsheet. Like, if you want to take it back, use a dang on Excel spreadsheet and get your bookkeeping skills together from there. As long as your books are together, your tenants is there. If you have payroll, usually with micro landlords, we don't have much payroll. And if we do, it's more contracted work. But you can do that on Excel, free on Google. Yes. You ain't got to pay for Microsoft. So, it's just things like that where you have to really, save money. Catch those mistakes. Like, if you're doing that now, stop. And if you're a micro landlord now, if it's okay, if you're willing to eat that cost, cool. But I think back and I'm like, man, like I said before, my first tip, I could have saved that money and reinvested it in something else and just use a simple spreadsheet instead of paying these unnecessary fees. All right, and the last one, man, a lot of y'all gonna be able to relate. If you're a landlord, you can relate, or unless you just avoided this altogether. But I lost a lot of money and just made mistakes with dealing with family and friends. And even though I notice in my mind, like, do not do business with family and friends, I'm telling you, it's hard to avoid, right? It's hard to tell your family members no, they can't stay there. Even if you got like a short-term rental, that can still be a big loss, but it's more on a short-term basis because, you know, it's short-term. So they're probably just there for the weekend. You probably gave them a nice little discount, then they're going. But if you have like a midterm or a long-term rental real estate that you're doing, that can be costly. Real costly. So be careful when dealing with family and friends. I mean, they love us, they wish us the best, but deep down, they don't have the mentality of, you know, you're really not helping me by wanting free services. You're really not. Nothing's free. So even your real estate is not free. Like, you still have upkeep costs. Even if you own it outright, you don't have a mortgage, it's still taxes in America. So I know you got taxes, you know, no matter what state you live in. And just, you know, etc. You have utilities. Like, there's just a lot of things that go into it. And family and friends don't necessarily think about that. They think, oh, this is my cousin. Oh, this, you know, my daughter, my son, you know, I can stay here. Let me just stay here. So I've experienced that, and a lot of people I have told no, but then there are situations where I've given discounts, not necessarily, no, I've given free too. And I lost a lot of money, thousands. So yeah, please learn from my mistakes. Do not make the same mistakes. All right, guys, text me. I'll have my number on the screen. If you guys have any real estate questions, you know, anything that I probably can answer, maybe I can, maybe I can't, but who knows? So text me and I'll see you guys in the next video.